I love wine and I love wine tasting, and we definitely enjoy different wine tasting experiences. We haven't made it to Napa yet, but it's definitely on our list. But we have been to Valle de Guadalupe, Mexico, which is basically like the wine country of Mexico. And lucky for us, we also have Temecula Wine Country, which is a pretty easy drive north of where we live. We've only done one Temecula wine tasting tour, but we usually make it up there at least 1 to 2 times per year. We left our car at a hotel and headed over to the pickup spot, which is Vail headquarters. This is a really cute area. It has some bars, shops, and restaurants. I've been on wine tasting tours before, but never like this. That is an 18-wheel semi-truck. And it was to be our mode of transportation for the day. We booked this tour with Toasted Corks. They also have a glam school bus for tours, but this particular vehicle is called Semi-Toasted and it's brand new for 2024. This is a small business owned and operated by a really nice husband and wife team who made this such a fun experience for us. We got to pick whatever music we wanted to listen to. The max capacity is 34 and it can be booked as individuals or you can book your group. As luck would have it, we had it all to ourselves. We got to go to 3 different wineries on this tour. There are about 50 wineries in Temecula, California. Some of them have hotels, some have restaurants and or food trucks, some have live music. Most have some kind of wine club that you can join to enjoy free tastings, discounts, and wine shipped to your door. Most of them offer a tasting menu with varying prices anywhere from $30 to $50. Some offer tours of the winery. All the greenery and blue skies with the mountains in the background make for a very beautiful setting to enjoy wine and relax. I just love it up there. We started out pretty mellow, but that would change as the night went on. We definitely got a lot of funny looks, honks, and waves from cars around us. I mean, nobody's really seen a semi-truck quite like this. All the wineries are slightly different, but the overall vibe for most of the ones that I've been to is either rustic or I'm gonna call it country chic. I totally made that up, but it's very country, but also with a touch of fancy to it. Most of the wineries finish tasting hours by 5 or 6, and this was a sunset tour, so by the time we got to our second and third winery, we were getting bottles to share and taste, which was fine with me.
Hi.
If you want to experience multiple tasting, a tour is really the way to go. The tasting fees are included. They take care of everything. All you do is show up and have fun. It was very windy on that semi-truck. My hair was flying all over the place, and I didn't necessarily feel like I was being tossed around or anything like that, but there were times where you definitely wanted to hold on to a railing or kind of felt like you might lose your footing depending on how the truck moved. It actually sounds like a really bad idea to put a bunch of drunk people on an open air semi-truck, but it turned out very well. No incidents occurred and everyone was safe and having a great time. And when you do a tasting experience like this, it almost becomes less about the wineries and more about the fun times you spent getting there. I really enjoyed all the wineries that we went to. The only one that I had ever been to before was Somerset. We were feeling pretty good by now. I completely lost my balance while I was dancing. It's probably a good idea to use extra caution on a moving vehicle after that third winery. We had so much fun on this Toasted Corks semi-toasted wine tasting tour. I would highly recommend it for anyone interested in planning a wine tasting tour in Temecula. I love staying at a Temecula Winery hotel, but it didn't feel worth it for just one night and basically just to sleep, on top of the price we paid for the wine tour. So we stayed at Spring Hill Suites Marriott, which is 1 or 2 highway exits north of the wineries and just an 8-minute drive to the drop-off point. We wanted a more budget-friendly option. The split bathroom setup gave you an extra sink, which was different, but it actually came in handy. And I was a little bit worried, but it turned out to be a decent place to stay. The breakfast buffet was just okay, but nice to have, so we didn't have to worry about food the next morning before heading home. I would definitely stay there again. We had everything we needed for a good night's sleep, and we spent $250 as opposed to $300 to $400.
Yes, these doors are heavy.
The next morning, we headed over to Ponte Winery because that is our favorite winery in Temecula, and we wanted to get some wine from there while we were in the area. I was most definitely not interested in doing a tasting. I didn't even want a sip of wine after all of the wine that I drank the night before. It's a really pretty winery. Ponte and South Coast Winery are right next door, so if we don't want to spend money on a tour and do want to spend the night, either is a good option because you have access to 2 different wineries within walking distance. They both have restaurants. South Coast has a pool and spa. We've stayed at South Coast, but next time I'd like to try Ponte. We bought 2 bottles of Late Harvest, our favorite. We had a great time in Temecula Wine Country, as always, and it's only about an hour away from where we live, and I know we'll be back.